Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We are counting down to the 2018 FIFA World Cup. It's just 14 more days to go, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they're putting finishing touches as I speak to you. The team, they've landed in London. They are able to, yes, they're getting ready for that big one against the Three Lions of England. And for Coach Guerrero, 2 more players will say goodbye to the World Cup. It's going to be very tough to lose. They should have just dropped there with all of these other guys that have been dropped so that by Saturday you will be healing. But after the World Cup, and they say you can't make it.
I'll say it's going to be very difficult, but I think I can pick 2 players who will not make the squad. If Moses Simon will be fit early enough, I think he will make the squad. And for what it's worth, I hope he makes the squad.
Because he's an intelligent player.
And he's the only out-and-out winger we have in the team. If we want to use the full width of the pitch, he is the only player we can rely on who does not play as an inverted winger like Ahmed Musa. He will hog the touchline for you and stay there. We need him. Guerrero gambled when he didn't invite the only alternative which we had, Samuel Kalu, and you can't blame him. He hasn't seen enough of Samuel Kalu over the past 2 years, so no one is going to fault him for that. He had to stick with it.
Will you take Olaino to the World Cup?
One of Olaino or Elders in the Chejile will go down for me. And I say this because Olaino was brought in primarily because of his versatility, he was brought in to give some stability to the left-back position. He didn't manage it. And that was what gave Brian Idowu a chance. And as soon as Brian Idowu got his chance, he didn't do exceptionally well, but he did enough to cement his place.
Okay,
so one of Olaino or Elders in the Chejile.
So that means you're taking Brian Idowu to the World Cup.
Brian Idowu is going to be our starting left back. I think if Echejile makes it, it will be because we need a natural left foot in the team. But he didn't play a lot of games in the Belgian second division team he was over the course of the season. So I would even maybe assume that he's in the team now because of the time he has spent with the team. But in terms of play, Olaino played more games than Echejile in the past season. But he's a right back. We only use him as a makeshift left back. So one of those 2 we have to go.
Would you neglect the experience of Elders in Echejile?
No, I wouldn't neglect his experience, but his experience may not just count enough for me right now. I think I need a player I think Nigeria needs a player who, though he is not experienced, but we can be sure he's reliable. Your Godfrey Obuabonas in 2013, for instance. Your Kenneth Omeros in 2014, for instance. No experience whatsoever, haven't played at the top level. The best Obuabona had done was play at the CAF Champions League semi-final against Al Ahly. But he went to the World Cup and did well. He won the Nations Cup a year before, played well at the Confederations Cup. So if I am sure that you would deliver, I think the coach should stick with those kind of players. The same thing we are having with the goalkeeping situation. With Francis Uzoho, Ikechukwu Ezenwa having played more high-profile games, but because the coaches can tell that Francis Uzoho seems a lot more reliable, they are sticking to him. If Brian Idowu offers us that, I think we should stick with him. And I think he currently does.
So we'll be monitoring that match against England on Saturday. A lot will come out of that one, particularly vital lessons that Coach Guerrero and his technical crew can use as they get ready for the World Cup. It's a big deal. Argentina, they will play in Group D with Nigeria. And in that country, that South American country that loves football so much, the president, Mauricio Macri, came out with fans to say goodbye to their team. And it's like they're saying to them, beat Nigeria.
I think he's telling them, don't lose 6-0. Don't lose 6-0.
I know, but it's going to be interesting. That man right there, Lionel Messi, will make a lot of difference. But it just goes to tell you, that's the president addressing the Argentine national team. Our president addressed the Super Eagles in Abuja some days ago and told them, don't toy with the emotions of a lot of Nigerians. So this is serious business.
Look, the Argentines are blessed with quality in every side. I mean, if you have a team where a player like Mauro Icardi can't get in, Paulo Dybala is struggling to get in, you have competition between Gonzalo Higuain and Sergio Aguero, and these big names, Austin, we need maybe 1 or 2, and we'll be fine. They'll be starters. But that is the quality, sheer quality in South American football, and they have it. And it is a headache, a selection headache for the coaches. But then, here is Lionel Messi, who makes all the difference in the world. Without Lionel Messi, they lost 4 goals to 2 to Nigeria. 6 months ago. Without Lionel Messi, they lost 6 goals to 1 against Spain 3 months ago. It tells you something. They need to preserve Lionel Messi at all costs. Do everything it takes to make sure that he's fit. He doesn't have a history of injuries anyway, but they need to protect him some more because Argentina look a lot vulnerable without him. Even though he's not the one playing in the defensive positions, they just look a lot more vulnerable.
Sometimes I think that defenders just say, come and score because Messi will score back.
Or if he's not scoring, and look at what he did for them. During the qualifying series, when Messi was away for 6 games, Argentina didn't win 1. He came back and they, on the verge of missing out on the World Cup, found themselves qualifying and securing automatic spots, not even via playoffs.
Awesome.
That is what Lionel Messi brings. His sheer presence on the team takes 4 of your opponents away, and that is why you want him, and that is why everything is blessed to have.
It's okay, but we don't just have one player. We have Mikel,
we have a proper team.
We have Odioni Alo, we have Alex Iwobi, we have Victor Moses, we have Kenneth Omero. We have the Oyibo wall. We have players. We have a team going to the World Cup to represent Nigeria.
We have the youngest team at the World Cup.
Nigerian fans, don't bother. Just watch the World Cup with the spirit of optimism. Anything can happen. It's football. Let's get on with the show now. It's going to be an interesting World Cup. Yes, very, very interesting World Cup. A Swiss Supreme Court judge has cleared Peru captain Paulo Guerrero. We've been following this situation for a long time now. He has been cleared to play at the World Cup despite a doping ban. Switzerland Supreme Court says it has granted his request for a stay, freezing Guerrero's 14-month ban for a failed drug test. And Peru, they would love this, having the charismatic captain back in the team.
Definitely. And fair play and big shout out to France, Denmark, and Australia, whose captains both signed and supported FIFPro in pushing for the appeal to have Guerrero participate in the World Cup. Look, apart from the fact that Peru, I beg your pardon, are back on the World Cup for the first time in 36 years, it is equally his only chance to play at the World Cup. Now, I think we are being too emotional about all of this anyway, because if he was found guilty, I think he should be missing out on the World Cup. I think it would be unfair to have a player who has doped participating. What if he scores a goal that pushes Peru to the quarterfinals or to the semifinals? Then we'll begin to analyze in retrospect. What if he is not part of the team? So I think these things, there has this emotional twist to it, but then he said and admitted that it was a mistake, it was unintended, but whatever happened, happened. And if the Supreme Court believes his testimony and believes the evidences that they see, maybe he just deserves the pardon he has gotten.
That's right, because
fair play to him.
Yeah, that's the word I was waiting for. Fair play and maybe fair justice also. But we want the sport to be clean. We want integrity in football and every other forms of sport. So it was okay to say congratulations to Peru, because that would have done something to their World Cup campaign, knowing that their captain is not there with them.
Of course, and you can imagine what is going on in Peru at the moment. I read on the news earlier in the day that a lot of Peruvians go to his mother's house to sing and dance. It's a party. It's having your best player, maybe one of your best players, and your charismatic captain back in the team. Even though at 34, I mean, if you celebrate the return of a 34-year-old that much, there must be something about him.
That's right. That's right. So Paulo Guerrero has been cleared to play at the 2018 FIFA World Cup for Peru. He's the captain. Let's see. This might just motivate them. We're going to see some good action when the World Cup kicks off in Russia. Let's bring the discussion back home now. We didn't have much time to talk about it yesterday, so let's take a look at the Nigeria National League. A lot of interesting results coming out of that one. Just in case you're wondering, the NNL is just slightly below the NPFL. That's the Nigeria Professional Football League. Teams advance from the NNL to the NPFL, and it's getting interesting to look because it has been given into groups where only one team will come out of that group to make it to the NPFL. Bemo played goalless with EFCC. Giordano played defeated Zamfara FC 2-1. Gombe United 3, Real Stars 0. Malumfashi 2, Jigawa Golden Stars 1. That's in Group A1. In Group A2, Taraba FC lost to Aklosendi. Kaduna United 2, Kogi United 0. ABS defeated NAF Rockets by a single goal. It's the Nigeria National League. A lot of interesting results right there in B1. Spartans and Abia Comets played goalless. Shooting Stars defeated Aqua Starlets 2-0. Bendel Insurance having a good run this season. Beautiful start for them. Let's see if they can make it too. At the MPFL, they defeated J Atete by a single goal. While Warri Wolves played 1-0 with Bayelsa United. That's a crucial win for them. In B2 stationary stores, good to also have them back playing football. Defeated Dynamite Force 2-1. Delta Stars 1. Delta Force 1. Oh, it's sharing the spoils. Delta. Inewu United 1. Oshu United 0. Crown FC of Ogbomoso 1. And Unisem Rovers 0. So that's just to encourage you to follow the Nigeria National League. It's interesting. Every weekend, beautiful games. Just listen, follow Channel Sports. We're going to tell you some of those places where you can catch action in the Nigeria National League. Let's get on with the show now. I'll talk about Real Madrid, and that's, to some persons, pleasant news, to another section unpleasant news, because Zinedine Zidane, he came out to Lou and he says, look, I've been there, done that. I mean, they said no one has won the Champions League back-to-back. I broke that record. I gave them one more. It's time to say goodbye.
And I can imagine the smile on the faces of every football club in Europe, like, oh, he's going, finally. Now we can get a chance to win, because initially when it happened in 2016, everyone called it luck. Then he repeated with some masterful display last season, defeating Juventus 4-1 in the final. And then again this season. Look, Austin, what amazes me most about this man is how he's been able to handle egos within that squad, manage everything. Is it not surprising, Austin, that immediately after the World Cup, the next press conference, Bale and Ronaldo are already talking about exit, and we never heard about that all season long? And is it not also amazing that barely a week after he won the Champions League, he's stepping down and no one saw that coming? It's not, I mean, great to see how he managed the situation of Gareth Bale, who joined Real Madrid for a then world record fee and has been relegated to the bench, having Asensio psyched him up, and is doing well. And the way he handled James Rodriguez also.
That's a leader.
I think the way he has managed the crop at Real Madrid, no manager has done that over the past 15 years. Not Mourinho, not Ancelotti, not Rafa Benitez. Of course, those ones even got sacked. He left on his own terms.
I've never heard of a row between Zinedine Zidane and a player. Top-class manager.
It was going to happen last year when he was resting Ronaldo at the beginning of the season, and Ronaldo was getting frustrated. He substituted and told him, look, I need you to conserve your energy for the later stages of the season. And it worked. And Ronaldo came out to say, wow, he didn't expect that was going to happen. And now Ronaldo will happily sit out games just to be fit and fresh for Champions League games.
Look at this.
That was not doable last year.
It turned things around for this guy. And what a way to say thank you to the man that did it for his career by scoring that stunning second goal against Liverpool.
I mean,
we definitely watched the video of Zizou against Bayer Leverkusen.
I was just going to say that now we have a serious debate about the biggest goal in the UEFA Champions League final. Zizou against Bayer Leverkusen or Gareth Bale against Liverpool. Guess what? Zizou is in the mix on both occasions. A Brazilian is in the mix on both occasions. The cross for Zizou was for Roberto Carlos. The cross this time around was from Marcelo. Guess who scored the first? Zizou. Guess who's coaching the team who scored the second? Zizou. What a story for him. But Zidane has to be respected. 9 trophies in 3 years is a lot. No Real Madrid manager has managed that feat over the past 18 years.
Wow.
He has pulled it off, and he has done it in style. Winning the UEFA Champions League for 3 consecutive seasons was unimaginable 4 years ago.
I know.
And
because we kept on saying the UEFA Champions League hasn't been won back-to-back. No team has successfully defended the trophies. As Zizou turned that around, says, no, I can do this. And he did it. Zinedine Zidane, take a bow. You should doff your hat for him, Tolu.
He's probably the only manager who has left Real Madrid without getting sacked under Florentino Perez. I think he deserves the accolade.
So now, everyone is asking questions. Who's the possible replacement? I even hear Arsene Wenger.
Arsene who? It takes me back to 1996. Arsene who? Maybe not Arsene Wenger, because lately he has struggled to win. Fair play, fair enough, or with all due respect, he won 5 trophies in the last 4 years at Arsenal, and he deserves a consideration. But when Real Madrid really wanted Arsene Wenger, he wasn't available for them. He wasn't willing to, some 10 years ago. At this point in time, where he looks like the man has lost that spark, I'm not sure.
Look at money, but
Florentino Perez will consider it.
Yeah, I
think that, like they did with Zidane, promoting him from Castilla, they will probably look at a certain Guti Hernandez who is doing well with Castilla
but with Zidane, they saw the charisma, they saw that presence. You know, with Zizou, you can just he's like a catalyst.
Honestly,
Mauricio Pochettino.
Well, he signed a new contract extension. Unless we are thinking that is just to create a bigger buyout.
Of course, but
I think he's committed to the project he's doing at Sports.
Yeah.
One thing is, we can all tell because of his press conferences that he wants to win titles.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he wants to win them at Tottenham or if he will be willing to take up a challenge as huge as that of Real Madrid. But any manager coming in now will be under immense pressure. Nobody will replicate what Zizou has done anytime soon.
Well,
maybe a local dominance in the Spanish league can happen, but maybe not on the continent.
Yeah.
And they will be subject to a lot of criticism.
Is it too big a position for Diego Simeone?
He will not go.
Yeah.
I think he's a die-hard.
He's got a project going on.
At Atletico, he loves what he's doing. He's enjoying it. And again, he's a big fan of Atletico Madrid. Yeah. I think the fans will not be happy if he leaves them for their fiercest rival. They will hate him, and he doesn't want to be hated.
Let's leave it to Real Madrid fans. Guys, what manager would you like to see at Real Madrid now that Zinedine Zidane is leaving? And, sadly, that is where the curtain also falls on this edition of Sports Tonight. But keep that conversation coming. We will talk about it tomorrow on the program. Tolu, I must say thank you so much for coming around.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
And of course, to you, wherever you are in the world watching Sports Tonight on Channels TV, thank you so much for your time. Remember, you can keep talking to us on Twitter, Channels_Sports, Facebook channels, IFA Sports. That's the show. For the team, I'm Austin Okonakman. We'll be back again tomorrow to talk some more sports. But until then, in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.